Hi everyone, this is just going to be a very quick little review, or rather a comparison, of Derwent Artist pencils. This is a beautiful box. I've had this box for about, it must be at least 15 to 20 years old, this box. And I've never used them, they're all in brand new pristine condition, so it'll be nice to try those out for the first time. So I'm going to compare those with my brand new tin of Prismacolor Premier, and I got these at a real bargain price on eBay. So to begin with, I'm going to start with these Prismacolors. Now the colours in these two sets are different, so I don't have two identical reds or greens, so I'm just going to do as close a match in colour as I can. And this is just to see how they go on. Now this colouring book has got really sort of a shiny surface. It's called Art Therapy Mosaics. And I chose to use this book just purely because I can show you the exact thing right next to each other. So anyway, the surface is really smooth and shiny, so you want to take that into consideration. So this one goes on really beautifully. That goes on gorgeous. And I bought these on eBay extremely cheap. I paid about $1 for postage, and I think they cost me 11 Australian dollars, so that was a real bargain price. And they seem to go on really beautiful. That one was Crimson Red, PC924. So now I'm going to try and get a similar colour with the Derwent Artists. Just try and get as close a colour as I can because they're not terribly similar. But this one is Deep Vermilion 1400, and these ones are actually quite thicker in the barrel than the Prismacolor. I don't know if you can actually see the difference, but it's quite a bit chunkier. Okay, so straight away, well, you can see they're different colours. But apart from that, they actually are quite different to use. This one actually feels a little bit more chalky and drier. I mean, it's still better than your really cheap sort of no-brand ones that you get for maybe $1 or $2. So that's quite good. That's quite nice. Then I'll compare it with a nice blue. This is Prismacolor blue, and it's True Blue, number PC903. It's like a nice sort of an aqua turquoise colour. So that goes on really nicely as well. Now I do tend to be a little bit heavy-handed, so I'm putting this on, using a little bit of pressure, but that's how I colour normally. Same when I use paints, I usually use them very, very strong. Even my watercolours, I put them on quite thick. So that went on really nice. I'll see if I can match it with the Derwent Artists. Yep, I think that was a good match. So I'm going to use the Spectrum Blue number 3200. There's definitely a difference in the way they go on. This one is actually, it goes on really well. I'm not going to knock it because it actually does go on well. But you can actually feel it dragging on the paper, whereas the Prismacolor one did seem to glide on a little bit smoother. So yeah, that's quite good. Let's have a look at the greens. Okay, so I've got a Prismacolor Grass Green PC909. And that goes on beautifully as well. Because I was in two minds at the beginning whether these were actually genuine or whether they were maybe knockoff, because they were so cheap. But because I've never used Prismacolor before, this was my first time. But I'd say that they are definitely original or genuine. Now here's the nearest I can find in the Derwent Artist, and that's Mineral Green 4500. Again, it goes on okay, but it does. I'm pressing quite a bit harder, and it actually drags on the paper. It's like it's more of a dry, chalky sort of texture. But there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's nice. It's still good quality. So now, what have we got now? Let's have a look. Let's try the black. Black's always a good one to try. Sometimes you get right sort of like a nice, really deep midnight black, or sometimes it comes out a bit grey. So this is the Derwent, and it's ivory black. This is the equivalent. This is just the black Premier, Prismacolor Premier. And I've actually done this the other way around. I should have put that black on there, so just bear that in mind. They are the Prismacolors, and they're the Derwent, except for the black one, because I should have put that on there. But never mind. Anyway, you get the idea. So this one goes on really nice as well. But they're pretty close. Although I do think, yes, I think this Prismacolor is slightly, it goes on a lot smoother, buttery, as they say. Putting this all in one place. Okay, so the next colour we need to try, how about we try a nice yellow? So I'm going to use a Prismacolor Canary Yellow. That's really nice. That's a very, very nice yellow. I like that. So that went on very nice. Nice coverage. And the equivalent, I think, in the Derwent would be, because I haven't used these before, there's a slight bloom on them. You know how when you get something new, like pencils and stuff, there's like a little white bloom, and you have to sort of use them a little bit just to get the new stuff off. But I think the nearest colour would probably be the, I'll look at that one. Yeah, this one's probably the closest. Lemon Cadmium. I think that looks like it's the closest, so I'll try that one. So this is the Derwent Artists. Oh, that hardly goes on at all. You often find that with the lemon yellows, though I noticed with my watercolour paints, the Winsor & Newton lemon yellow is very, very weak. It doesn't go on very well at all. I don't know, maybe that's just the pigment they use for lemon yellows. Maybe they use the same pigment in pencils as they do in the paints, but as you can see, that yellow is not anywhere near as good as that one. And I pressed really hard with this. There's actually little grooves in the paper. Okay, so what should we try now? Let's try a nice orange. Okay, so I'm going to use a Prismacolor orange, and we'll just put that here. Oh, that goes on beautifully. That just flows. That's gorgeous. There, look how quickly that covered. That was beautiful. Okay, so that's a Prismacolor orange. It's just called orange. And see if we can find a similar colour here. Now I've got the Artists one, and that's orange chrome, so we'll try that over here. So that's a really nice orange too. But I find I do have to press a little bit harder, and I can feel it dragging on the paper. It's different texture. I actually feel like this one is more of a chalkier substance, but still very good. I mean, if you didn't have the Premier pencils to compare them with, you would probably think that they were fantastic anyway. So bearing that in mind, they're probably both very good quality. So the Van Dyke Brown in the Derwent goes on like this. So you can see it's a slightly different shade, but that's okay. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the actual quality of the pencil, but that's good. It goes on quite nice. Whoops. Okay, so what else shall we try? Because I've only got 12 colours here, I can't really, well obviously I can use 12 colours of similar ones in here, but they're not, some of them are not that similar at all. So now we will use, what should we try? Got a nice dark blue here. No, that's actually bright. So I've got a nice light green here, and this one is apple green. So this is the Premier one, and I'm going to put it on this side. That goes on really beautifully too, lovely and smooth, perfect, goes on beautifully, no scratchy bits. So I'll try and find a similar colour. Yeah, it was probably the closest, I think. Yeah, so with the Derwent, it's the grass green, and I'm just put that here. That's quite, actually that's quite a very close colour actually, it's a good match. So again, it's a very good, they're lovely pencils, but when it comes to effort and the way they glide on, I definitely think the Prismacolor ones are better. And I don't know whether they are genuine or not because the price was extremely cheap, and I actually bought a packet of, oh gosh, I bought one packet, one tin, and I liked them, and then I ordered another one. I've got another packet of 4 tins for about 30 Australian dollars with free postage, so that's an absolute bargain. And but whether they're genuine or not, I don't know, but they certainly go on beautifully, so I guess that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And so that was the Derwent Artists. Let's see if we can find one more colour just to fill up this little square here. Try another brown one, I think. Oh, I've got dark brown in the Prismacolor Premier, so I'll put that on this side. And that goes on beautifully as well. Let's see if we can find a nice dark brown to compare it with on this side. It's not very dark. Well, this is the nearest I think I can get, and that's the Copper Beach colour. And that's the Artist's one. So that goes on here. That's the Derwent Artists. And that went on quite nice too. Okay, so on the left hand side we've got the Prismacolor Premier, except for the black one, which I put in the wrong place. So that is the black Premier one on that side. That's the Prismacolor Premier one. And that's the Derwent Artist one. So just the black ones need to be switched around. Apart from that, they're all the Prismacolor Premier and Derwent Artists. So I think they went on really, really nicely. I think they're really both good quality. But you can see how much deeper those colours are, like the red and the yellow. They're really, really, they do pop. They're really nice and dark. Okay, I've got a white here. So what I should do is, just to show you the white ones, okay, because I don't know how the white ones go. So for the Prismacolor Premier, I'm going to use a black, colour one of these little squares in. Try and cover it as stickily as I can. Doesn't matter if I've gone over the edge, this is just a little demonstration. So that's the Prismacolor black. Now I'm going to colour over the top with the Prismacolor white, just to see how good the white ones are. What I'll do is I'll just colour half of that square in so you can see. It's going slightly grey, but as for laying down a white covering over the top, it's not really doing that. But then I don't know if that's how they act normally, because I've never used Prismacolor before. But it's definitely it's good for burnishing, I would imagine, because it's blended it nicely. So that's the Prismacolor Premier black. Now here's the Derwent Artists black. So I'll just lay that down first. A nice good thick covering. Now I'll put the Derwent Artists white over the top to see what that looks like. I think that's a little bit better. This white, this Derwent Artists white is actually better than the Premier white. I don't know if you can see that, that's quite a bit different. That's good. You can actually get a nice sort of grey colour on using it on top of the black. On that one, with the Prismacolors, you really couldn't see it burnished. It sort of blended it very smoothly, but you can actually quite see the white. But with the Artist's Derwent, you can actually see the white over the top of the black. So as you can see, the black and the white Derwent Artists, they were actually a bit better than they were better than the white Prismacolor. That's the Prismacolor black with white over it, and that's the Derwent Artists black with the white over it. So I think that's definitely the better of the two. The white one is from the Derwent is the better. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's just a quick little comparison, and I'm really happy with these Prismacolors. I think I actually scored a real bargain there. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.